Welcome back. I'm here with Keli Ganey, historian and filmmaker. Keli, let's take a look at the brand new trailer for your brand new documentary, Finding Washingtonia. Looks like we need to find Washingtonia ourselves. Well, Keli, let's just jump right into the interview. If we're able to pull up that trailer, we'll come back to it.
All good.
But so if you can just give us a brief synopsis of the trailer and what the documentary is going to be about, that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So the trailer itself follows the 6-month journey that is finding this lost colony in Greece. So I had the pleasure of traveling overseas with a cross-cultural through Messiah, and we got to use drone technology as well as just on-the-ground truth-seeking, which is literally just walking around and looking for things. It sounds a lot cooler than it is.
It sounds like Indiana Jones is what it sounds like.
it felt like it at times,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. So how did you first hear about this Washingtonia?
So my professor, Dr. Pettigrew, has been working on this project for a really, really long time. He's been working out of Greece since before he even came to Messiah, since his graduate years. And Washingtonia was mentioned briefly in a archaeological survey back in the 70s, but no one ever really talked about it, found it. It wasn't really discussed. And so my professor and a few of his other colleagues decided to look into it and see where actually is this place. So I really got to learn of it from him, because no one really ever talked about it before now.
Right. That's a pretty big step, I feel like not really even knowing that this colony exists, and then moving pretty much an entire film crew to Greece to try and find it. So like, what was that experience like? Like, was there a lot of uncertainty, or did you feel confident you'd find it?
There was a lot of uncertainty. So when our first mission when going over to Greece was not to find this colony. We actually had 3 different projects going on, and we were just hoping to hit one of them. We were going to look at the Nazi occupation of Greece in World War II. We were going to look for Washingtonia, and then we were also going to work out on Isthmia at the Michigan State University dig house. So a bunch of different things. We found the colony on like day 3 of our trip, and so everything changed. The whole itinerary changed. And we went from dabbling between all these different projects to this is the sole project, and we're putting all of our resources into it ASAP. That's
crazy. So how long were you in Greece? Like how long did shooting take?
About 4 weeks. Wow. So I got to live. I'm very, very lucky of getting to live there for about a month. It is a beautiful, beautiful country. The people are so kind, and I got to learn so much about the language and the culture and the architecture. And I actually got to live in ancient Corinth, so biblical Corinth, where the letter is written to. So I actually got to walk and see some biblical sites that are mentioned in the Bible, and it was very, very surreal.
Yeah.
Being there, knowing that the apostles had walked there before me.
Right.
It was very humbling experience as well.
Yeah, I would imagine so. That's cool that you were able to find some time to do some of the touristy things too, though. You know, like you don't go to Greece every summer, so
yeah.
I'm glad you were able to find time to do that stuff. So, what were some of the skills that you feel like you gained from that Greece trip, from that 4-week shoot?
Oh my goodness, so many skills. So, I was a film crew of 1. It was just me, and I couldn't bring my full crew bag that I usually am bringing for like a YBTV assignment, which is usually a very bulky backpack. TSA, that would not fly. So I had a very small carry-on bag with 1 camera, 1 lens, 1 battery, a charger, and my mic kit and a square light, and then 1 tripod. That's all that I had on me.
Yeah, that's packing light for a filmmaker, for sure.
And I was terrified. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do this. I didn't know if we were going to find anything. I was just like, I'm just going to bring my camera and see what happens.
Right.
And I got handed a silver platter of a story.
Yeah, seriously.
I've still been trying to wrap my mind around it,
Yeah.
how I've gotten to this point. But I'm just super thankful that I'm here for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, we would go out into the field at like 7 in the morning, and you would have a water bottle, then my camera pack, and the sun is very, very intense in Greece, and most cameras are black. So it's absorbing the heat. So I was having to fight heat exhaustion both physically and with my technology.
Yeah, that is always a struggle.
Yeah.
So,
For sure.
Kelly, obviously we know you from your work with The Vault. You know, you have your own weekly segment every single week. So what are some of the skills that you've gained from doing YBTV that you felt like directly translated to being able to then go and do that shoot in Greece?
Absolutely. If it wasn't for YBTV, I wouldn't know how to shoot an interview, honestly. Like something as simple as how to frame, how to ask questions, how to edit. None of that would have come out without YBTV. And looking at The Vault and what it was to what it is now, starting as like a simple reader of just me sitting at the desk and, you know, facing camera 3, my favorite camera person, James Hellman, and, you know, just reading a script and having pictures go behind me, to now traveling and doing interviews and getting B-roll. It looks so different.
For sure.
And those skills are so transferable to the field that I didn't realize. And
Yeah.
I've been able to actually get my department to buy into camera equipment and to continue making video projects so that there will be projects created after I'm gone and it's not just me anymore.
Yeah, that's incredible. And we started to see that today with Charlie taking over The Vault, so that's certainly exciting. And Kelly, so we actually do have the trailer for you now.
Okay.
So we're going to throw it back to the trailer right
Awesome.
now. Let's take a look.
Enjoy, guys.
It's like 6:30 in the morning. We were doing a drone flight with Professor Sarvis, and Professor Pettigrew and Professor Corellis just wander off. And after we finish, Professor Corellis and Professor Pettigrew come back, and Professor Corellis has this massive ear-to-ear smile on his face, and he goes, "We found it."
So we were on the ground for probably 2.5 weeks in the Corinthia, living and working in the region and going out doing drone photography of the area as part of a broader study of the landscape. And then on the other hand, we were using a map to identify places of early 19th century date that could be contemporary with the colony.
It's this balance of presenting what we find, warts and all, with all of the good and the bad attached, while also trying our best as people not to let our biases slip in.
America in 1829 is a very isolated place. It's just won its independence. It doesn't have much of a global presence. So we're excited to share with the general public that there was this kind of ground-up swelling of support for something that happened very far away across over the Mediterranean, funded entirely by citizens without the government, without the military, without any other kind of super agency, and having it succeed and in some way kind of provide a model for later engagements.
There's a story here of the Greeks were suffering, but American coming across a problem and wanting to fix it. And this is a theme we see all over history. And sometimes people believe that the American intervention fixed it, and other times people believe that it just kind of messed everything up more. So there's this really careful balance that us as historians need to take when presenting this information of not feeding into either of those preconceived notions and just presenting the facts and letting other people make their own informed opinions from what we put forward.
Kelly, that looked phenomenal. I can't even lie. You know, hearing you talk about it is one thing, but then actually going and seeing like some of the things that you were able to shoot, that's so exciting. I'm so excited for you. So what are your plans with the documentary? What are your distribution plans? How do you plan to show it to the world? Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I'm so excited. It'll be coming, it'll be streaming off of YouTube in January. That's going to be the main platform for it. But the super exciting thing that I'm excited to announce is that I'm officially being published with my professor, and we're writing a paper and includes the documentary. And so we're taking this publication to the American Institute of Archaeology National Conference this January. So I get to fly to Chicago in the dead of winter, but I get to present to the entire academic community, and it's going to go national. So that's super, super cool.
That is super, super cool. Not a lot of people can say that. That's incredibly exciting.
Yeah, as an undergraduate, you work hard, but this kind of opportunity doesn't even come to graduates. This is something usually you're like 10 years deep into your career getting this experience. So getting this experience at 21 going into grad school has been mind-shattering, honestly.
Yeah.
And life-changing, and I owe everything to Dr. Pettigrew for this opportunity, for sure.
Yeah. Well, Kelly, I'm only 1 year younger than you, and it seems like I've got a lot of catch-up to do if I want to try to reach where you're at. But speaking of, so you are graduating in like a couple of weeks. Like, that's crazy, right? Let's pivot a little bit and talk about that. Like, what are your thoughts?
Well, to be completely honest, Reed, it is kind of terrifying. However, it is also very exciting because the unknown can hold so much.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as of right now, looking ahead, I'm applying to grad schools, and I'm hoping to get in somewhere and continue my studies and my documentary work, and make a move to a big city where there's museums, and hopefully maybe get picked up by a network that does documentaries. That'd be a dream. But then beyond that, I'm also been job hunting at the same time, and I've realized the amount of skills that I've accrued over my 4 years are super transferable to a lot of jobs. Even if like the job title doesn't look like something that would fit me, it does.
Yeah. Well, Kelly, you said that the unknown holds a lot of possibilities, and I think that is certainly true if you're Keli Ganey, because all of the things you've just rattled off, I'm completely envious. But Kelly, that is unfortunately all the time that we have for today. I'm so excited to see the documentary coming out in January on YouTube. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I'm going to keep an eye out for that.
Okay.
But Kelly, you're going to be so dearly missed here at YBTV, and it's going to be a shame to see you go. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. We're going to be right back after the break to talk to Josh McLeaf. We'll be right back.